And this is Graceless Hippo on a lazy Saturday morning. I thought I'd show you a little bit of different video today on some of the one of the different features that is available on Assassin's Creed Origins. Is now a discovery tour, which is in effect a massive museum of the game. The game makers, by all accounts, spent 4 years putting this game together. A lot of that was spent obviously on researching the way the game actually looks and the history of the area. And this is what they've come up with, and it really is extraordinary. Obviously, I highly recommend you get the game anyway. It's absolutely vast. I cannot emphasise enough how vast it is.
Tour by Assassin's Creed, Ancient Egypt.
I'm also really impressed with this. Really liked it, and I thought you might like a look at it too. So I'll leave you to look at the tour.
Welcome to Alexandria, planning of the city. Alexander's plan to build his great city began with a verse from Homer's Odyssey. There is, in front of Egypt, in the sea with many swells, an island called Pharos. Guided by these clues, Alexander the Great founded his future city at the western end of the Nile Delta. Though Alexander considered this location ideal for his great city, it presented considerable challenges. Too difficult to access during storms, the surrounding swamps threatened disease, and the limestone soil prevented the growth of healthy crops. However, due to the influence of his mentor Aristotle, Alexander the Great recognized that the true value was its strategic emplacement. Alexander knew that in controlling Pelusium to the east, Memphis to the south, and his crowning glory Alexandria to the west, he would create a triangular stronghold, allowing him to control the entire delta while giving him access to the Mediterranean. The Great Walls of Alexandria had a humble beginning. Lacking chalk to outline the future city's foundations, architects were forced to use flour instead. Clouds of migrating birds swept down and ate the flour, erasing the plans. This prompted Alexander to seek guidance from the oracles, who reassured him that his future city was destined to feed a large population. Excavations led by Mahmud Bey al-Falaki in the 19th century revealed that the wall enclosure measured approximately 5.2 kilometers in length and 2.2 kilometers in width. It was roughly 9 meters in height. These formidable ancient walls would resist a number of attacks, including fending off the king of Syria in 169 BCE. It wasn't until 295 CE that they eventually fell to Roman Emperor Diocletian, and this only after 8 months of relentless assault. Alexandria's principal architect, Dinocrates, chose a Hippodamian grid plan. The grid maximized functionality, with wide, straight roads and canals running beneath them. Alexander recognized the military value of the city's design. The wide, parallel streets gave him optimal surveillance of the city, while allowing the unobstructed flow of troops. A central corridor ran from the Mediterranean's north port down to Lake Mareotis to the south. This thoroughfare acted as an unobstructed link for commercial trade and travel between the two ports. Many of the streets were bordered with grand buildings and parks, including Canopic Street, with its impressive gate bordering the eastern end. Alexandria was most likely built upon an already existing Egyptian village. Upon its completion, the Egyptians reviled the city, refusing to call it by its founder's name. Instead, they called it Raked, the building, as a mark of disdain, which was later Hellenized into Rakotis. Despite this, the name Alexandria would remain.
Just cut back in to tell you the size of this map. It's being completely opened out. I haven't actually opened out about half of the map so far on the game, but here it's been completely opened out, and as you can see there are lots of tours available to take all over the map. I'll just take you to another one which is in Memphis and talks about the structure of temples there and all over Egypt.
Welcome to Temples and Priests. From its foundation, the city of Memphis favored worship of the god Ptah. The main temple of Ptah was known as Hutkaptah, meaning Palace of the Ka of Ptah. The name of the temple translated into Greek as Aegyptos, would eventually evolve into the modern name Egypt.
Right, that's where we're going to leave it today. I've been Graceless Hippo. Enjoy your weekend,
Temples
and
were the
I'll see
center
you
of
next time.
religious,
Thank you very much.
political,
Bye-bye.
and economic life in ancient Egypt. These sacred places were viewed as the literal home of the gods and goddesses. As such, every aspect of them required care and reverence, all of which was accomplished through elaborate ritual.